We're back. Going to do some work on the Zephyr today. The lesson here would be not only in reconstruction, but also in rust repair. Zephyr doesn't have a lot of rust, but there's two issues that I created that could very well translate to rust repair. So this one is about the rear end of the Zephyr. Let's do it. All right, so if you remember, about a year ago, we had put leaf springs in the back of this, and I had a whole different arrangement with under the chassis, these chassis rails, and the way that the shackles came through. Man, I wish I wouldn't have done that, because I just mentioned rust repair, but this was virgin metal. This was super clean and never crashed, and I cut it apart. So a little regret. At this point, yes, but we can rebuild. As far as rust repair, this isn't major, but it's very typical of old cars. This is two panels, right? So the water comes in through the seal or condensation, and mud and whatever pools up in here. And that's what you see almost everywhere when a car this old rusts. It starts in these bottom corners. For 1937, that's all that it has in the whole car. In the great words of the amazing Mr. Huell Hauser, that is amazing. It sure is. So you see it got hit here, it's dented. Mm-hmm. So I got an idea. We'll get into that second. Firstly, we're going to build these. That way, before we go, I'm going to cut this open. Before we cut this open and possibly modify the shape back here, we're going to lock it in. So let's explore. Grab your seat and I'll grab some paper. Now you know the old saying, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I should have taken a picture of this before. Actually, we do have a picture, but I don't have time to go back to that video. I'm trying to remember how this came together. You see the fender bolts on through here, and I do remember saving the fender bolt holes. So I just remember that the shackle was up here and it was swinging, and you see how I ended up with these radius cuts just trying to let it work, and none of that's needed now. So it looks like this is a little bit twisted. Does that look that way to you?
Yes.
Let's push down on that. Yeah, it does. So let's just see if we can. Again, it's metal. It's got a little bit of a memory. How's that look? Any better?
Looks a little bit better.
Yeah, I think that'll be okay. The main thing I'm thinking about is there's two bolts here that hold the bumper on. So this is kind of not really important at this moment, if it is a little bit off. It really is not doing anything except it's going to support this rear pan here when it gets connected. Okay, I got some paper, but I don't think we're going to need it. You can see here it's just a simple angle. So let's measure that. Goes down 2.5. Comes out about 2 1/4. And it's 7 inches long. 2.5, 2 1/4, 7 inches. Let's make 2 of those. You don't actually need to go that far. Let's do 1 1/4. We're going to do 1 1/4 by 2 1/4. And a quarter, and then 1. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, look at that. It lines up. Amazing. 1 1/4, 2 1/4. Tell you, the fates are with us today. Let's put it in the brake. So on a smaller piece of steel like this, I will use the proper lever. In the last video, we talked about possibly tipping the brake over, but a little easier with this one. Yeah, that'll work out good. So we're going to put this on here. We're going to lap it just a little bit. And let's cut that off for this. This will be L for Lan. This will be R for Roussel. Cool. Grinder.
Somebody wants me to like try to get the video. This is what I see when I look for the welding mask. Unfortunately, it's too glare.
Yeah, no, that's always the problem. You get that reflection every time. It's part of the curse. Remember one time we were doing an integration. We're trying to film our little meal in the microwave. And we were filming ourselves in the reflection.
That was funny.
There's just a little residual curve in there in the past life. Tap that a little. This whole rear was spot welded in place, but you can see 1, 2, 3. See how it's all just dotted together?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm welding this solid because what the heck, make it a little stronger. And if this was a restoration, of course you'd want to drill through in true form. You'd probably even get some kind of a, image of another car and try to match it, but we're way past that. A little mismatch the way that grinding disc came in. Rust right there. Sometimes when you're welding, if it's rusty or it's thin, it just falls right through, and that's what just happened there. Got these two little sharp corners. Let's take that off. All right, now let's figure out what to do with the rest of this. Got a slice of paper. And I don't remember if there was some detail in here. When you're looking at this, I don't know You can see how this came down and out, and then you got your big bead rolled stuff, and I don't see any reason that this can't just flow through in the simplest way. The idea is to just give some strength to these fender bolt area and then lock it to the trunk inner panel. Just to say, roughly, so this panel, I think I'd like this panel to be inside and then outside like that. So, I mean, this is where it's going to get complicated. It's going to have to reverse. It's going to have to reverse somewhere. Let's take this and cut it free from the chassis rail, because this looks okay. But you'll see where the problem develops. But you'll see where the problem develops. Unless, ooh, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull this back. This is gonna shoot down like that, and then we're gonna put in the brake. We're gonna put in the brake. First, we're gonna set this right, and right from there. That's gonna go in the brake right from there. As this shoots down to here, that point here is going to turn that way. Let's make it in paper, see what happens. Yeah, so. See, that's where it's going to be difficult. This one wants to bend. The metal won't let that happen. See, it'll do that. It's going to be one or the other. Unless I just do that. Yeah, I'll do that. So this is going to come out about 2 inches more, a little further that way. And then this is going to get that, like that, so an inside lap. Yeah, cool. And I'll make this out of the heavier metal, I think. Must be a 20 gauge. Look. Okay, now right here is where I said I want this to come about 2 inches out and further. I'll be able to trim that later, but we want more metal through here. Yeah, and then our fold. Fold's gonna come through here. Cool. I'm gonna cut this with the disc. All right, so I don't know if this is a 90-degree bend or if it's less. Let's just creep up. This is the heavier steel, so that's good. It'll be very strong, but not trying to get into a wrestling match.
Like you did last week with all of
Exactly.
the Beverly shear and that.
Beverly was
That
kicking
was
my butt. This got to come way up. It's the exact opposite. It's over 90 degrees. Yeah. All right. So that looks cool. This has got to come up. That's got to get out of the way. Unless I can force it a little bit without... have like a double walled thing going on here. I think I just gotta trim this back. Yeah, like this. That comes together. Then this. I need to give that a little. I'm doing some yard work at home and I have this big 5-pound sledgehammer. I'm putting spikes in the ground and my hand was so worn out between the Beverly shear and these things with the thicker steel. I could barely swing the hammer.
Oh, wow.
Seriously, like this was cramping up.
Oh,
just
wow.
trying to hit the hammer. That's why I stopped that one day. This is much thicker than I usually use. But it's strong. You want to try?
No.
Just check it.
No way, Jose.
So, see the channel right there, bang. That's where it's. So it's gonna be hard to get. Yeah, I don't really like doing that. So this all looks good. I think I might just slice this. I'm going to tack this in place. I'm going to cut this, push it, and then reconnect. Because this looks great. Yeah, tack that on. Okay, let me grab a deeper clamp.
Why does it make those big old sparklies on the floor?
So look here how this piece is above. See, when they're joined here, that makes a perfect weld, but this is a little big, and one of the techniques I use is to just burn back. See how it's burning in the grab? Mm-hmm. So the weld will be inside, and that material was what fell off onto the ground. It's just kind of working through that fast. This is under the fender. You don't see any of it, so I'm just putting it in there. I'm going to turn the heat way down right now. See, I got a little gap from that issue I was talking about. I'm just going to try to fill that solid. Yes, that one little weird curve is totally remedied. Cool. Now we have to address this. So this material here is going to be cut off with the grinder, and I'm looking where this sheet, so you can't bend because it's creased here. So I think for this, we come straight down. That'll be where this folds, and we'll just cut this right to there. We'll push that into place, finish this, and we'll just put a reinforcement here. You get the disc. So right now that this is separate, you can just push this right into place. So let's just do a marker on that. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to want our hole here. I'm just going to mark that. I'm going to have to re-drill this for the fender, but I think we're going to do the same here. We're going to double it. So I'm just going to bring this right up inside. Like that. Because I know there was some structure back here that was cut out. So I'm feeling like this heavier steel doubling and then bolted through should definitely be strong. Cool. Let's clamp that. All right. So now, stick. Might be some lead in there. Make sure that that's good and stuck. Cool. Grab a piece of this. I'm just going to put this backer underneath, like so. Cool. Take this, mark it right through. Get the disc. All right, so that is definitely a support. I'm going to fit the fender up later in the project, and then I'll probably finish this off with a solid round rod. That way it's like a little strut holding this together. So let's see if that other side works with our paper template. I'm going to reverse this bend. Just like that, yeah, perfect. Same scenario. 2 inches out. More of an angle like that. Yes, we want the angle to be here. 2 inches out. Let's pull that out a little bit more. We can always trim it. And then our bend. Cool. I'm gonna cut that with the disc. Cool. So just to verify, definitely want to see that like that, and that like that. I want to bend that more than 90. Okay, let's take a look. Some good metal. We're trying to accomplish two things in this case. One is push the metal where you want it so you don't cut it too short. And the second is don't slip and cut your hands off. That's the difference. Because I want this to butt up nice. I'm using extreme pressure. I think we can do this. A captive nut on the back side of that.
Oh.
I was like, what is it actually not hitting? That's got a butt weld right there. Yeah, this is where it changed from having a hidden nut to the thread to just a slide. Oh look, it just pops right into place. Amazing. Okay. I think I'm gonna attack this because that is under extreme pressure. No. Not gonna work. is cool, but this has got to go right to here. I got to use the disc. Look, just like that. No fussing and spitting. It's just like it's supposed to. Just like that. Same thing here. I'm gonna weld this and I'm gonna hammer and dolly that out. That's that weird little issue with the shackle from the other side. Okay, same thing as the other side. We're gonna, actually let me lock this up. Yeah, that fits a lot better. Cool. Mark this. Now on that side, it looks like it's just coming in a little bit. Let's kind of follow that same trajectory. I like it. Back in action. So even though this shape is kind of weird, the end result would offer, if you were like in the mud or driving in the water or whatever, real car scenario, this would just drain down and out the bottom of the fender. Groovy. That's super strong. Well, I had original plans to get into this tail section, but that'll be there when we get back. So this is how we, if you did have rust in this area, these would typically rust out here. So here's a good idea on how to, come into the chassis with the unibody style and then reconfigure that little strut that connects the center apron. I think I'll leave this up on the lift, and next time we'll come back and we'll tackle that dent and rust. Peace.